welcome to New and In Between, hosted by me, Mia Quinn Maddox, where I'll be discussing the hows and whys to my journey towards my faith. I've learned through my highs and lows that this path is not mine to travel alone. Join me mid-journey as I embrace my wins, losses, and everything in between. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to New and In Between. I am your host, Mia Quinn Maddox, and this is episode 21. 21. Yes, season 2, episode 21. We are moving right along. Thank you all for being patient and still following along on the journey. I had to take a little bit of a break. Season 5 of my show has wrapped, and my birthday came. I turned 44. I took a little trip to my mom's in South Carolina. Had a good time with my sister there and my mom, and came back. And I kind of just been doing nothing, if that makes any sense. Like I've been cleaning up, trying to clear space. I have a second bedroom that has a lot of the inventory from my consignment store that I had a few years ago. And I still did sell things here and there, but it's becoming overwhelming, the inventory. So I've been trying to clear space to get rid of a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to take on this mindset of letting things go and clearing space and going through my closet and being realistic and having things that I haven't worn in 5 and some things 10 years. Like it's ridiculous. So I've been clearing space. I've been bowling. I'm getting better at bowling. I got pushed into a summer bowling league, which was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning, but shout out to Jean for pushing me, and we only bowled twice, but it's been pretty cool. I need to get my skill level up, so I will be practicing a lot more in this time that I'm off. Normally, I finish the season and I work a job, but this season I decided to take the full hiatus off and to rest and to focus on some other hobbies or some things that I enjoy doing. Someone asked me the other day, what are you into? And I really couldn't say what I was into just yet because everything that I do is work. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to find, the things that I'm into that aren't work related. So that's really what I've been doing. I've been reading. I've been hanging out with my sister, which is a normal thing. She got some great things going on that I've been able to witness, and that's exciting. I've been on my hikes. I'm trying to get motivated. I've been super praying to be motivated to work out. So that's really what it's been. I actually have been working on season 3, which is going to be it's going to be super, super, super amazing. That's really what I've been up to and what I've been doing and figuring out what's going to be the next episode and what are we going to do next. But as I was listening, because I do go back and listen to all of the episodes myself just to study myself and see what I could do better and, see what conversations I know I could maybe draw off of in future seasons or future episodes. It just made me think of different guests and maybe where they were at. That's really where I'm at right now with this. I'm still in awe in trying to take it all in that I have a podcast. Yep, New and In Between. I have a podcast, and we are on episode 21, and that is great. This is something I've been being consistent. And don't get me wrong, I still be like, oh God, I wonder if I could cancel. But nope, I'm here and we are here. And I appreciate you guys being here. And don't forget to click, like, and subscribe. It's important right now. Just pause, subscribe, and get it done because I make sure that I subscribe before I even listen because it's important. So support, subscribe, click, like, and subscribe, and share. Share if you feel like something that I'm saying may touch someone else or may help someone else or may even spark an interest in someone else. Please do share. Thank you. Appreciate you. So as I'm going through all the episodes studying, I came across a few clips that I felt were, that was really good. or that conversation sparked something in me to make or made me deep dive into a thought, or even just watching myself and seeing where I was just a few months ago and seeing where I am now. So I went through all the episodes and just picked out some of, I won't say that they're my favorite because I feel like all the episodes are my favorite, but I picked out some moments that were good. I felt like they were good to me. So I hope they're good to you. So check out our best moments, my favorite moments, moments that I felt were funny or that touched me. Friend breakups. That was an episode, a few episodes that we spoke of friend breakups and the impact that friend breakups have on ourselves. And there was a lot of engagement. A lot of people had things to say about friend breakups and the effect of friend breakups, which made me really think about deep diving into maybe some more episodes about friend breakups and the grieving process of losing a friend. And sometimes, as I was thinking about it, I was thinking about also too, we think that friends are just, sometimes our coworkers become our friends because we do spend majority of our time at work. So even our coworker friends, if you have a falling out with a coworker or just all kind of things I started thinking about as far as friend breakups and my friend breakups and how I was so quick to just cut a situation off with no explanation and knowing that the few times that it was done to me, how hurtful it was and how I still remember those times that I was cut off by a friend, like, whoa, damn, you're just not going to talk to me ever again with no explanation? All right, cool. But you live and you learn. And what I try to do when it's done with me is to let it go. It was the season. We had a friendship for that season. It served what it served. And it didn't go further. And we could just leave it at that. And if we ever bumped into each other, we could be cordial or not. And I would hope that that's what, it would be. So I'm hoping that's what I would do for myself. So yeah, it took me into a real deep thought process. So these are a few of our clips that we discussed friend breakups, and I hope you enjoy. Check them out. And if you really like them, then you should just go to YouTube or to Spotify or Apple and just go watch the whole thing. That would be even better. So check it out.
I don't think so. I mean, I lost a lot of things along the journey, and not even just people, like life, but people living with you. Like, I've lost so much. I lost girlfriends. I lost friends. And these people are alive. But they're just not with me on this journey, this path right now. So it's like, yeah, I lost a lot, but where I'm heading, I had to do it. Like, this was just a sacrifice. This was a mere sacrifice from where I'm heading. So that's where I'm at.
For me, I feel like with all my loss of friends, because I have one friend still from the music industry. One.
How was that?
It was eye-opening for me because I didn't realize the position that I was in, being close to a celebrity like that. And because I'm not that way, I didn't think that people were capable of using me. Because I honestly didn't think that I had anything, because when 50 exposed me to the world, I'm on private planes. I'm staying in 4 seasons in Paris.
Yeah.
I am in the most expensive hotel in Dubai.
You're a lavish lifestyle.
I am private cars. This is just everyday life. Showing up. I didn't realize that the attachment, which is crazy because the advice I used to give to every new artist that would come to the label, how is, and I always get asked all the questions, and I always would say, is don't think you're bigger than the person standing next to you. And I would always tell them that, like, if I went out on stage with 50 and sung Best Friend, they would scream the same way as if Olivia went out.
Yeah.
They would scream the same way. When you come out standing next to him, the screams are not for you. Yeah. They are for him. And he's allowing you to share in the screams, but trust and believe, they're going to scream the same way as if it's him by himself or him and you.
Yeah.
For me, I thought that life would never end. So when it did, it was also kind of shocking.
Yeah.
And not only was it shocking, it was shocking to see that when that job ended, or when that career, or when that client ended, all the relationships that ended with it.
Yeah.
You're only as good as the person that you're around.
Yep.
And I never understood that until I wasn't around the person anymore, now to see.
That's different.
Okay, people don't really, oh, okay, I'm not paying for the tables no more. So I'm not getting the invites. I'm not getting the calls
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not invited to that party. I'm not, and that was fine. Not so, those things weren't the worst part. It was more of the disassociation of
Okay.
people that I had been attached to for so long.
So you were kind of conditioned to believing that these were your friends.
Yeah, and I mean they do. They become your family.
Mm-hmm.
I spent more time with them than I did my own family.
Mm.
I would be gone for months on end.
Mm-hmm.
Months, like you gone for 2 months overseas, and literally we're living on a tour bus. You see these people every day. I
Yeah.
take care of them
Yeah.
in the sense of I'm giving them deodorant, soap, lotion, clothes, underclothes. Like, I'm with these people every day.
Yeah. That industry has to play a role when you're mental, man.
Yeah, no, it does, because if you don't come from a strong foundation, which a lot of the people in this music industry don't come from, we come
Yeah.
from broken homes. We're all looking for love. We're all looking for friendship. We're all looking for acceptance. We're all looking for something.
Yeah.
And when you put a group of those people together, we all have expectations from each other that don't get met.
Yeah.
This is what I want to ask you about friendships. Yeah. Sometimes for me, like what I felt like, if I knew someone for a long time, that I needed, like I had to save that friendship. Like, oh, this is someone that I know for a long time. I've known her for 20 years. Like, and you accept more, and
Yes.
you do more, and you take more until you finally realize I've outgrown this person.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I am notorious for holding on to a friendship. So recently, I've come to the grips that I can't do that because it's not being true to me and it's just uncomfortable. So I don't believe, like you said before, everyone is in your life for a reason and a season, and they don't need to come with you in the whole journey. And I am okay with that now, but it did take me a very, very, very long time because I'm someone who's loyal, and I expect that same loyalty. And if there's an issue, I expect you to come to me and let's try to resolve it. And if we can't resolve it, I do not have any animosity towards you. I wish you well in life. But we need to just go our separate ways and we can just be cordial. And I've come to grips, like I said, in my big adult age with that now because it was something that I would hold onto a friendship no matter what. And it wasn't making sense.
Yeah, in Tyler Perry's book, he gives this analogy of um, friendships being like a tree, and you have leaf friends, you have branch. I think it's branch friends, and then you have root friends. Your leaf friends come for season,
Yes.
and at the end of the season,
They're
they
gone.
leave. Your branch friends stay around long enough, like they don't last all the storms. Because you see in a hurricane or whatever, their branches break.
Yeah.
So you have some friends who will be on for a while, and then a real hard storm will come and they'll break
That's it.
away. And those are your branch friends. And then you have some friends that are deep root friends. Like tree roots grow deep.
Yes.
They allow the tree to stay grounded into the ground. And if you get one or two of those, then you're blessed.
Absolutely.
I want a friend like Gail. Oprah only got Gail.
Yeah.
Oprah don't run around with 1,000 people, and she's Oprah.
Yep.
Oprah got Gail and Tyler Perry.
Yeah. That's true.
I got a Gail and a Tyler Perry.
What is my journey going to look like? And how am I going to show up in that space that is going to make me feel healthy, that is going to have make me have a peace of mind, and where I can do my best at taking care of myself.
So what are some of those things?
I would say I've had to detach myself from a lot of relationships.
Listen, if you're gonna become new,
Yeah,
I mean, I do the
there's
same
a lot
thing.
of friendships that have failed.
Not failed. They were for a season of your life.
They were, and then when you look at them and over time, once you kind of get through that dark phase, you're like, that was a relationship that probably it could have phased out a lot better, but we hold on. And some of the things that I went through as a kid, I have like these trauma and neglect issues. The little girl in me wants that codependency. But in therapy, I've realized that I've tried my hardest not to attach myself to people in fear of losing someone,
Mm.
of dealing with heartbreak, of being hurt. So sometimes people would look at me and go, everything was good, or we're great. And then it's like, what happened? Like, it's a defense mechanism.
So tell me what even led you to come to that term or to that realization that you are there.
Because of my friend breakup. My friend breakup opened up Pandora's box.
Mm.
My friend breakup literally showed me my unaddressed mommy issues
Mm.
because I had allowed women to treat me other than what I deserved. Now, with my permission now, okay? So I'm not a victim, right? I allowed them to treat me, and I treated them in ways that neither one of us deserved because I was not ready to take on that mommy issue.
Mm.
And I had mommy and daddy issues, but I've made peace with my daddy issues many years ago.
Mhm.
Thank God. But that's what uncovered it because I went through so many stages with the friend breakup. I mean, first of all, I was surprised. I was kind of shocked. And then I was angry.
How long were you guys friends?
27 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yep. I came up with these people. You know, we was broke together. You know, we got money together. We had babies together. We grieved children together, family members. We laughed, we cried. We did all the things.
They became your family.
They were my family. I'm an only child.
Mhm.
So they became my family. And when it was my turn to go through something that literally stopped me and my family in my tracks, they kind of ghosted me because I couldn't handle what was happening. It was happening so fast. It was hitting me like snowballs,
Mhm.
you know, like an avalanche. And I just needed time and space because I was like, I fought so long, my whole entire life, to not be here, and I'm here. So I just needed some time,
Mhm.
and they ghosted me. So I say all the time, even though breaking up with an entire friend circle, because I didn't break up with just one person, I broke up with all of them
Mhm.
because those relationships with them just didn't serve me anymore.
Mhm.
And I felt like they weren't friends to me and I wasn't friends to them. I feel like we were trauma bonded in so many ways.
And you think because you know someone for so long that
Yeah.
you're supposed to be friends. But we've been
Yep.
friends for 27 years. Like, why would we throw that away?
Yep. You're like, girl, we shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Mhm.
I'm so grateful for that time period because it really showed me.
During the season, not even just this season, but during first season, second season, we had a few guests who talked about mental health and mental health space as in therapy and depression and, you know, just mindsets. And it was something that drew me to talk about my experiences being someone who grew up with a grandmother who was manic depressive, bipolar. So with Mental Health Awareness Month coming to an end, May was Mental Health Awareness Month. A lot of our guests spoke of therapy. It's something that is very important to me. It's something that I am an advocate for. It's something that I suggest to my friends, to my family all the time because I know how much it helped me in gaining clarity. And it was important for me to pull these clips because it's something that I'm going to always be an advocate for. I watched my grandmother, and watching my grandmother suffer from manic depressive and bipolarism, it affected me in ways, not in terrible ways, because how she was how she was, and I didn't really understand the dynamic of it, but just in little things of how I don't take medicine, which is sometimes just doesn't even make sense. Oh, I don't want things to mess up my kidney. Those meds that my grandmother took were dependent. She had to take them every day. She had a little pill box Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and with tons of pills in them. I may take some Tylenol when I have my menstrual or something, but I took on this mindset of, I'm not ever taking medicine. I don't take medicine because I'm afraid of what happened to my grandmother. That was my grandmother's life. So for me now, I'm just like, okay, Mia, someone created Tylenol to take away your pain and you are just going to sit here in pain. That's stupid. Take the Tylenol. So now I take Tylenol a little more often than I did. And then I'm actually not in pain, and that's a good thing. So just little things like that. But if I don't have a clear mind, I can't even think through or past something that I put into my mind that didn't even make sense from someone else's experience, if that makes any sense. So I'm a big advocate for therapy and trying to understand people in their mental space as far as like addiction goes, Our episode with Tiffany was very impactful, just speaking on the other side of being the parent and having a child that's addicted to drugs, and how she has to keep her mind together and sane and stable in order to process and deal with that. So it's such an important thing. Even talking about it now is just so much easier than it was even a few years ago. A lot of people speak of therapy and going to therapy and how therapy has helped them. I mean, I think it's great. Honestly, I really do think it's great. And I wanted to play some of the clips back again, just to also to thank the people who came and sat on the couch with me and talked about it, because it is a very vulnerable topic to talk about your feelings and your emotions and your deep down hidden things. So cheers to all those who go to therapy and see the benefits of it. I had to be courageous, I had to be vulnerable, and I had to be open, honest with a complete stranger, but it was bigger than that. I kind of told myself it was bigger than that, and it worked. It helped me so much to just make things clear. And once I cleared space in my mind, I was able to fill it with better things, more knowledge, more understanding of how to deal, what to do. And right now, I think it's working out pretty good to me. I'm very content and happy with where I am and who I am right now. I look back at some situations that I've dealt with and I know were real ugly. And I look at how I handle those, not same situations, but similar situations now. I could see the difference. I could see the difference in me. So enjoy these next set of clips on mental health. Check them out. It was a different dynamic. So not that it wasn't good, but I just felt more comfortable and able to be myself in the B group of yours. And I felt like the topics were interesting. Like we spoke about therapy, and everybody just opened up about the therapy that they go to and how it helped them and the stuff that they were going through. And we all think that what we're going through is the worst thing in the world until you hear what someone else is going through, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at that in the way of like, wow, look how powerful God is. If he could get them through that, my problem, which not to discredit my problem, because in my life it is big, but if he could get them through that, why wouldn't he get me through what I'm going through?
Absolutely.
So it was enlightening for me. And then I was like, Tiffany is cool.
Oh,
I was like, this is really like, I was like, okay. And then we all felt like there was a few days that I'm like, I can't. But then I would just get on and it would make me feel different by the time it ended. So when you would come on and you would be like, guys, I'm going through X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, wow, and she's still on, like that just made me look at you like, yeah, this is the person that I don't mind leading me. So when I asked, I was, we had a conversation, and we'll get into that a little bit. There was a day that you were just not feeling it, and you shared with us what was going on, and I was like, wow, that is the person that I need to sit here.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize how many people, like I come from a family of like my father was an addict of drugs until his dying day. How he died, I mean, we'll never know. He's gone.
Right.
But I come from an era, I was born in the 80s, so a lot of my friends, a lot of my family were affected by the crack era. And if you grew up in Harlem, or if you were in Harlem, that's what it was. Or
Yep.
if your family was a lot of our men were products of Vietnam and came home with all of that happened in Vietnam. We would never, be able to imagine that. And then you come home to this new drug that takes you to another moon, and it's just so addictive, and you just don't, nobody knew what they were getting into, but it's just something that happened to our community. So many of us were affected by it.
Yep.
So there's Nana, and then there was Manic Nana. And I really didn't have an understanding of what was going on when we were younger. My family, not that they hid it from us, but it's not it. What I've learned about having someone in your family that has mental illness is that it becomes somewhat of a norm for you. So there's really no explanation to others about it. It's just how the person is. And I came to that realization because as a child who had a grandmother who suffered from mental illness, and it was like night and day, I never explained to people or had to explain to anyone about my grandmother. It was kind of just they knew that's how she was. And I never got teased about that. Shout out to 45th Street. All my friends from 45th Street. I never got teased about my grandmother. And she was wild. Like, there was moments where she was, I mean, wild. Even when she was the crazy cat lady, because she ended up being that with all the cats. but I never got teased. She never got disrespected. Everyone just treated her, I mean, normal. Like, if she was Miss Smalls, she was Miss Smalls either way.
I was like, yeah, when you shed a new skin, it falls off. It don't fall off. Some pieces stick on. Some of us pick it. And then we let it scab and we pick it again when it's not ready. And it was the most horrible yet enlightening and eye-opening experience that I've ever had in my life. And it changed me forever. And my mommy wound was front and center. It was front and center. And I'm still processing the mommy wound. I'm still working through it. But it's...
Do you mind sharing what that is?
Yup. So I have a mother. My mother is still alive and well. She actually just moved to Las Vegas.
Okay.
At 73 years old with the family. Which she had some health issues. The family didn't agree with her move, but she moved anyway. You know, and I made the very difficult decision to not talk to her anymore. So I am choosing not to have a toxic relationship with my mother anymore because I realized what of an impact it had on my whole entire life. So I have a mom that is present in body, but not in spirit. It never has been. And I don't think she's not present in spirit purposely. I think she's just not willing to do the work because it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And I understand why she don't want to do the work or hasn't done the work because it's ghetto. The work is ghetto.
It is.
And the work is hard.
And it brings out stuff in you
ongoing.
that's embarrassing, that's hurtful, that you look back and say, I can't believe that I did that. I did that? Like...
Yeah. But it was important for me to do it.
So you would show up for somebody in this way and automatically would say, this person knows that they got to show up for me like that. No, they don't. And even in that sense, I had to stop and say, now, like as a woman, I have to stop and say to myself, am I doing this because I want to? Do I have an expectation attached to this? If this person doesn't show up for me in this way, how would I feel? And those are things that now I process before I misstep. There's a lot of accountability that comes with going to therapy. There's a lot of trauma. You know, you feel isolated a lot because you're going through like a transition. And what it is you're really getting rid of the old person that you're comfortable with. And you're trying to transform yourself into who you know you're supposed to be. And the reality of that for me was that, did I want to live my life with other people being happy with how I showed up for them? Or did I want to live a proud life with who I've become? And that's in taking care of myself first. It's not selfish, it's necessary, because if I don't take care of me and feel at my best, how do I love the people that are around me the right way?
That's right. Listen, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I go through the same thing and went through the same thing. You expect people to do what you do. You expect people to do things on the level that you do things.
Yeah.
And when they don't, then you're so disappointed.
Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's doing therapy too, by the way. Shout out to every Black person who's doing therapy, by the way.
You know, that's a big deal.
Yeah, very big deal.
So you went through depression, but have you ever experienced mental health in your family through anyone else?
Yes, definitely. Oh, we touching the good parts, man. So last time we were here, we spoke about my mother. I don't think we got too deep into it. My sister is experiencing a lot of mental health. My sister is bipolar schizophrenic, and she also is a drug addict. She's on crack cocaine. So that kind of like affects the equilibrium of her brain even more, and it's tough. My mother.
How old is your sister?
My sister is 41.
Damn, so she's in my age group.
Yeah, and she's been like that since 17. She's been like that since 17.
And your nephew that passed away is her son.
Her son, yes. And it's difficult seeing them like that. And let me backtrack. I'm sorry. My mother also was on drugs, and I think she's never been diagnosed with mental disorder, but I do think she does suffer from mental disorder. because seeing the similarities from her and my sister is exactly the same. So looking at my sister now, because she's still in that mindset, it's hard.
And what about your mom?
My, I really don't. I look at it, but I'm more closer to my sister because my sister helped raise me with my grandmother. So
'Cause your
yeah,
mother was
yeah, my mother was
okay.
there,
But she's in a different state.
but
I
she's
mean, I
yeah,
get it because
yeah.
my father also was. He got caught up, and I say they get caught up in the crack epidemic
Yes, yes, yes.
because it was a drug that was introduced to ruin you.
Yeah.
And at that time, they were doing. Everyone was doing cocaine and smoking weed and whatever drugs, but nothing that was the drug that. I mean, I
Yeah.
think people were doing heroin at that time, but crack was something that just
I'm telling you,
it changed the dynamic of black families all across the world.
it's by far, because although we're in this century, that drug still affected this century. That's 3 decades, three
Yeah.
decades of family of living, and that's still affecting people. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's really crazy. So I see my sister on Christmas. It was amazing to see her because I love her, But to still see her in that condition is heartbreaking every single time.
I'm sure.
Every single time. Every
I'm
single
sure,
time.
but then you understand how she ended up how she is, and from your mom.
Yeah. One dope thing I can say about my sister though is when my nephew passed, I had asked her. I said, "What?" Because she was in the rehabilitation center for drugs. So while she was in there and my nephew passed away, she ended up going back on drugs. So I asked them, just like, "What made you go back on drugs? Was it the fact that Zion died?" She was like, "Yo, honestly, I could sit here and lie to you and tell you, yes, I'm doing it because he died, but I will be lying to you. I'm telling you I'm doing it because I want to do it." She was like, "Yo, Vincent, don't burden yourself. Did so much that I mentally am not prepared to check into reality. So this is why I'm doing this right now." And when she told me that,
It made you disconnect. It made
blew
you
my
not
mind.
feel bad
Yeah,
for
it
disconnecting.
blew my mind. I said, "Yo, I needed that. I needed that for my journey of healing and depression. I needed to stop feeling sorry for you. I need to stop feeling sorry for, like, why is my family not on top? Why is my family not like this? Why is my no? I need to start feeling sorry for me because the decisions is me." Once she told me, like, "Yo, don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for you. You have to handle your life," and I thought that was so amazing.
And sometimes I can recognize it in people because it's been around me my whole life. But I do know how important it is for me to make sure that I am healthy mentally. Hence why therapy is such an important thing for me and something that I suggest to all my friends all the time. And it's helped me in such ways that I want to see my friends helped in the same ways because we all kind of come from the same traumas of daddy issues and mommy issues and broken families. And I mean, these are the people that I gravitated towards. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like I have friends whose parents are married, but my friends from married parents still have trauma. It's such a relief for me to be able to work through my feelings and my emotions and my bitterness and my just all the things that happen, just things that happen from trauma. um and being able to recognize the traumas and being able to take all those things that I have jumbled up or have pushed down and allowing them to come up and work through them so that I can be a happy person. I mean, you don't realize sometimes how the things that you've gone through or the things that you're going through bitter you or make you blind to who you really are. And I feel like therapy, it is something that just helps you to see yourself with a clear eye view and be the best person you are. We walk around with so much on our hearts and on our minds, and there's things out there to give you relief to help you. And if you pray, I pray for things all the time. And I don't remember where I heard this from, but I pray for patience. God doesn't just sprinkle patience on me and say, "All right, you're patient." He puts me in situations to where I have to be patient to then practice being patient until I could be a patient person. So when I pray for things like a clear mind or clarity, there's therapy there. And if I'm not taking advantage of the resource that he's allowed someone the capability to have, then I'm not doing my part. And like that, he doesn't just give it to you. You got to do your work too. So it's why I'm very much an advocate of therapy. and very compassionate towards people who suffer from mental illness. All right, within these episodes, I also had a few little laughs because you guys get to see the final edited episode, but sometimes the episode brings me back to some funny moments or things that happen. We all know that we have two hidden guests, Winston and Bendo, my cats, that used to come out all the time when we were filming in my house. They were a nuisance. Almost gave my nephew an asthma attack. They're disrespectful. And I chuckled on one episode. I do remember at the time our DP, who was Tim, he calls me. He's like, I need help. I got to come downstairs. I go downstairs and he's holding his head and it's blood everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened to him? Did someone try to rob him? Like, what? Like, I mean, blood everywhere. He's holding his two hands on his forehead. There's blood all over. The wind blew the door into into one of his, what are they, C-stands? Into one of his C-stands, knocked his hat off into his head, gushed him in the head. He has somewhere to be. So now I got to bring all his stuff upstairs. I am not the one for blood and body fluids. I'm just going to tell you that now. And I feel so bad. And I'm so sorry, Tim. But I brought his stuff upstairs. I helped him clean up. And then I sent him back downstairs to clean it up. I just couldn't clean up someone else's blood. And I don't know how that works. But I've always been that way. Even with it's just how I am. But it was crazy. He didn't need stitches. But the way the blood was gushing out of his head from his pole hitting his head because the wind blew the door, or because he didn't want to ask for help. Ask for help, people. But he did stay and he did shoot that whole episode. So shout out to Tim for that. You are appreciated. Yeah, 2 episodes we shot that day with him. We just put a Band-Aid over it. He was good though. He didn't die. He didn't die. Either way, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed some of the clips that I felt were pretty good for season 1 and 2. I hope that this has caught your eye, inspired you, caused you to click like and subscribe, or just enjoyed. I hope it helped you pass the time at work or wherever you watch your podcast. Either way, I appreciate you and I'm grateful for your time. Till next time, Mondays, 5 a.m., New and In Between. I'm Mia Quinn. Peace. Hey everyone, it's your girl Mia Quinn Maddox, and this is New and In Between.